Here I am, Leon C., a.k.a. Morpheus. You are now listening to the Academy of Wow! Men. And I have another wonderful lesson for you today, ladies and gentlemen. And this one is going to be very good, as if the other ones were not. That's okay. But I've been doing some, you could say, Q&As, questions and answers, and conversations and complications and very interesting things that men have been saying lately. And I began to ask men about one of my lessons, talking about men aren't men anymore and men of failure today, and married men have no answers. All those are real audios that you can pretty much actually look up and see. But the one that stood out the most is the one I'm going to share with you today, which is very fascinating, actually. And you would say, what will make this one fascinating that you're listening to right now? This particular lesson today. Excuse me, I know it's kind of noisy. I'm trying to move the speakers around. Excuse me. Well, I asked some of the older men who are older than me, are a bit more in the physically mature range. You know, you can call them your elders, or maybe your grandfathers, or men who are old enough to even be your father. Because what I did, I went place to place. I went to some public corporations and open houses and places where there were men who are actually working. And I wanted to talk to the ones who were at least 50 years old and up. Those who are at least on the brink of retirement or have retired and are still working. And there's something that I've found very unique out of each one of them. And I want you to take your time and think about this. Because this is not opinion, it's actually fact. I don't go by opinion. We can't operate by opinion. We only can operate by facts. Opinions don't mean anything. Everybody has an opinion. And so I started off like this. I said, well, as a young man looking towards guidance, and I was just pretending, but just giving an example, because I'm going to be honest with you, I have no respect. I have no honor. I have no sort of flowers or reason for, I won't say these modern men, but from older, more funny looking, more reduced, more feminized, more self-ignorant men. Because there are excuses and exceptions to the rules, but that's a small percentage. Because if the train's not moving, it's because people aren't putting coal in the engine. If your sword is dull, then that means you are not keeping the sword in the fire. And a lot of the older men don't want to listen. It's almost like, of course you can't, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? But this is kind of like a level up, a little different. Mind the rain. It is raining out here. I know you can probably hear it in the background. That's what you're hearing. You're hearing rain. And I am a nature boy. So I'm always in nature, and I'm out here in the studio on the patio. So I got some, not only wind visors, but I got a tarp sitting up and other types of overhang so the rain doesn't hit me and make this lesson a little bit worse. But you get the drift by now. So you hear something in the background, it's just raining. So anyhow, getting back to our conversation. Hold on, voice is getting kind of quirky here. Whew, it's a bit loud, forgive me. If you can't hear me, I'll try to speak up. Maybe I should go inside, but I'm not going to do too many lessons like this out here because I need you to hear me. And it's not good for you to try to strain your ears. But the reason why it makes it different is because I wanted to know why the new generation of men are so soft, besides, of course, demasculating and the agenda of moving men away from the home and giving women a thumbs up and giving men a thumbs down. Not me doing that. I'm talking about the society doing that. Okay? I understand. I get it with the negative propaganda. I understand. I know how hectic and crazy things have been for men, so it's not to put them down, but it's to explain something to you when I tell you that loving yourself is important, or putting yourself first, or understanding, men, that you are the value, that you have the potential to do great things, and when you don't do it, frankly and honestly, you usually become the, how could I put it? You become the jackass of your own doing. You do it yourself. You know, you got this shirt that has a string that's irritating. This string is a part of the entire shirt. And the string keeps rubbing up against your skin. And what you do is you think you're smart, so you pull the string and everything just generally falls apart. So you're asking, what do you mean, Morpheus? Just get to the point. Well, how about this? When I interviewed one guy, and you'll say one guy doesn't answer or speak up for every man. No, he doesn't. But out of the majority, or out of the interviews, you got to dig into the other research. You got to figure out other men around the world. You got to pay attention. And this isn't my first rodeo. A lot of this is on social media. A lot of this is around your world, because there's some men who put on a fake and a funk, just like some women do. They're not living the life of luxury. All right? So, what I have found out through research and physically, foot to foot, talking to men, is what a lot of them have in common is, number one, they are married. Let's get the clues together first. Number one, they're married. Number two, they've been married for a long time. Number three, they're older men. And number four, they're a bit unhappy, meaning they're miserable, meaning they don't joke a lot. Not to say that that isn't generally a man's theme, because men are generally, kind of stoic and not too emotional. No, I mean really on the downside, where something's wrong with this guy. Okay? And as I've been explaining to y'all, live your life. Live your life. Live your life. Be free. Enjoy your life. Be the man you're supposed to be. Be the best version of yourself. Do what you want to do. You like hunting, go hunting. You like doing golf, do golf. You like basketball, do basketball. You like taxidermy. You like collecting things, like collecting cars, whatever the hell you like. Even if as a grown man you like keeping Lego blocks, because you done Lego blocks as a kid and you have a collection of it. If that's what you do, that's your goddamn business. But there's something that you're not going to do, especially in my presence. You're not going to lie to me. That's what you're not going to do. You're not going to lie to me. And a lot of common men today are liars. Because what I found is this. I interviewed a guy, okay, who was, now it matters. It really does matter. You'll say, well, it don't matter because, you know, he's this old. He was 60 years old, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what happened. He was retired. Listen carefully. He was retired. And he went back to work after retirement. Now you say, well, that's not a big deal. Some people do that a lot because they run out of money. You know, maybe they ran out of Social Security benefits. They ran out of this. You know, maybe they spent up all their money. You know, maybe they're not frugal. Maybe whatever the case may be. Let me tell you what this guy said, which drew a super conclusion. No, he said he went back to work because he was bored. He went back to work because he was bored. Mind you, married man, 60 years old, been married for a long time. No, ladies and gentlemen, that was a lie. No, that's a lie. Because when I put all my data and data together and did my research, I can't talk too long because I want this to be short, sweet, and to the point. When I put everything together, no. He went back to work for two reasons. Number one, he was running from his wife. He didn't want to be at home. And number two, his wife was spending up all the money because he, like 90% of men, was a beta. Think about that. So because he couldn't control his home, because he did a Will Smith, pause, because he didn't demand excellence out of life, because he let his wife wear the blue jean pants, he didn't control nothing and didn't think logically to be frugal with the money, he had to take his ass back to work. And not only that, he enjoyed doing what he was doing, saying that he was bored at home because he didn't give himself no hobbies nor create a life of his own. Because there is no way in hell or God's green earth that if you're at home in the luxury and peace of your futon, your wonderful lawn chair or your rocking chair, in the peace that you don't have to get up in the morning to a 9 to 5 or work for anybody if you don't want to, or yourself, you can't tell me that you are so bored that you have to go back to work. You are a liar and the truth is not in you. And this is a lot of men with a lot of pride and issue. Men don't want to accept when they've been played a fool and they lost the game. Because pride comes before the fall. But when they fall, they want to get up and pretend nothing is wrong with them. Then they go in the closet and start crying. That's just like a little boy who's embarrassed that he fell and he hit his head. And you know he's hurting. You know he is. But he has a lot of pride. But he'll run inside the school. And when nobody's looking, that's when he'll let it go. And these are the very men who brought other men into existence. These are the men who was the father before your fathers. Why do you think men are so soft nowadays? They can't explain themselves or understand. Or they're socially awkward. Or they don't know how to, read the room. Why do you think they chase women and always want to be underneath somebody's skirt all the damn time? Because you got redundant, ill-adjusted, soft, panty-wearing older men who quite do not understand their own value, so they teach other men to do the same thing that they're doing. Well, son, you're supposed to work your fingers to the bone. You're supposed to be the provider. You're supposed to work until you don't exist no more. Forget about yourself. You're supposed to serve the world. You are an ox and a pack mule. Whatever that they do is whatever you do. Your value don't mean anything, son. Your life is expendable, but everybody's life is more valuable than yours. And guess what these morons do? They'll go out there and become the betas. They become these. Let me stop. Here, how about this? They become these learning disabled grown men with panties, sucking their thumb, walking around on their tippy toes, soy drinking, soft. Let me stop. I gotta stop. They become the guys who end up in girls' DMs. They're the guys who in girls' friend zones. These are the guys that girls don't like, but they'll hold on to until after they get done spending time with men like me, after they get done getting ran through, after they get done getting sent over there to Miami, after they get done in California, after they get done spending up their youth, their beauty, and their time, then they'll go back to these betas and say, oh, you're such a nice guy. I can give you my leftovers because you're so nice. Because these guys do not understand the value of themselves. There's no way in hell you're going to say you went back to work because you're bored. And if that was ever true, you are truly a lifeless zombie. This is a lot of your men that are around you today. This is why I hold men accountable for a lot of stuff. You're supposed to be a leader. And I'm supposed to respect you. I'm supposed to give you your flowers. I'm supposed to sit here and say, oh, men are great. They built the world and they're so smart. They're so logical. No, generally assholes. Generally impotent. Generally inadequate to existence. Because you dropped the ball. You didn't keep your iron in the fire. You didn't polish the Cadillac. You did not clean the house or the gutters. You didn't clean your bedroom. You didn't wipe the snot from underneath your nose and taught every other man to do the same damn thing. I get pissed off and upset when I hear men say these dumb, ignorant, non-productive statements. Well, I went back to work because I'm bored. Liar, you're running away from your mother, who is your wife. You're running away from your responsibilities and being the man in the home and taking care of the finances because you let her run everything, because you're wearing the apron and the panties and she got the boxers and the blue jean jeans and the Carhartts. She's wearing your Dickies. You wearing her. Let me stop. Stop. This is why I hold men accountable. I'm doing a lot of research out here, and I like to get to the core of the matter. This is why I'm called Morpheus. This is where my name come from. This is why you hear. This is why I'm called that out here in the real world. This is why it's been given to me. I don't call myself that, but this is why, because I want to see how deep the rabbit hole goes. Where is this stuff coming from? And it usually comes from the leaders. It starts with the parents. It starts with those who born and push the next generation into existence. A lot of times it's not the kids. A lot of times the kids are trying to clean up their mother's and father's mess. A lot of times you're going behind your loser father and mother. And you got to wipe their ass and clean up their mess and learn how to do it all over again. This is why men don't have real leadership. This is why men don't have real mentors. This is why men, that is younger men, don't respect the older men, because there's nothing to respect. Because you're a dumb donkey. Generally. Men respect men who learn how to respect themselves. Honor is earned, it's not given. Honor is learned, it's earned, it's not given. And a lot of men aren't producing that. So what the hell are we going to respect you for when all you know how to do is dribble a basketball? All you know how to do is play football. All you know how to do is talk out of your ass. All you know how to do is pretend while you're driving down the street with a candy-colored Cadillac on some stagecoach wheels, and you think you're cool with a loud boombox system as you're going deaf. Stupid ass. That's not the respect. That's a clown. You're a joke. If anything, men need to learn how to be free and be entrepreneurs, leaders of their finances. Understand that they should take control and dominance over their finances and their life. Be the leader of what they do and all that they survey. Where you don't need to talk about, oh, well, I'm going back to work because I'm bored. What the hell are you doing bored when there's a million things you can do with your life? If you're that bored, you're still a grown goddamn child. You don't need to be married. You don't even own your name. I don't even know why you're here. Why are you here? Why are you here? To be a pack mule for everybody else. Just another man with a RIP flag on top of 6 feet of dirt because you don't understand the value of your life. And this was a majority of older men that I've interviewed. Don't know what the hell's going on today when they should have stood their ground and stayed on their square to produce some type of example for the younger generation. But yet here I am as a younger man. I can't even look in the face of the 60 or 50-year-old men because they turn to be simps. There's nothing to look up to anymore. I shouldn't need to talk like this to men who are older than me. That's the end of this audio, and I have more coming for you, but that's short, sweet, and to the point. To the root of the issue. Besides everything else that I talk about, which is a part of the issue, but the majority of it is because we have too many weak, worthless, passive, thumb-sucking leaders. That's hands down. That's no holds barred. That's to the core, and that's definitely period.